Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry, Max and David and Max, however you want to say it. It's wonderful. They're here, and we have to talk about, well, for some it might be a light at the end of the tunnel. We have been linked.
Good way of looking at it.
You know, for some also may not like it. So recently we were linked with a manager who might be coming in the summer. There was an article that said we are still interested in Paulo Fonseca from Shakhtar Donetsk, from the Ukrainian league. I know some people for some reason think it's a Russian team, but that's a Ukrainian league team, just like Dynamo Kiev.
Why is that? Who are they close to? Is it Spartak Moscow that people maybe? No, who is it that they're quite close to?
It could. Maybe
quite a few two.
I bet you it's Spartak. I bet you that's what it is. Yeah, I bet you that's it. I don't know, but it's something. For some reason, I think a lot of people just lump those two leagues together just because they're so close to each other geographically. It's strange. Yeah. So you read on Twitter, some people, I mean, it's like, if you look, and I've searched on Twitter because I'm a nerd or a loser, however you want to look at it, could be both. Hey, people say that it's already wrapped up, that we are definitely going to get this guy. Some people say, my dad heard, it's wrapped up, it's going to happen. You see,
definitely mock that.
You know what I mean? But I mean, there are a decent amount of ITK shouts, and maybe they are ITK. I don't know. I hate to mock it before we find out. But apparently, there is some interest in Fonseca, according to some people. So let's really quickly run down who this guy is. All right. He was with, and I don't know if it's Paços de Ferreira or Pacos from, I think it's Portugal, but he's also with Braga and Porto. What's funny is his record with Porto wasn't even that bad, but he got fired. So he went to Shakhtar Donetsk in 2016, and since he arrived there, 54, 8, and 7, and they have a goal differential of 84, as in plus 84. So they haven't given up a lot of goals, and they score a lot of goals. They performed well in Champions League this year. They beat City. I think they beat Napoli as well. They look strong. We were rumored to be connected with him after we lost Koeman. I heard we made an offer on him, and Shakhtar said no because they were in Champions League still. That could be bullshit though. You know what I mean? It's the internet universe.
Yeah.
So his preferred formation is 4-2-3-1. We've heard that before. However, the way his team plays, very efficient passing. They have a really high passing completion rate. They're finishing. They don't get a ton of chances, but the ones they get, they finish. So he likes to play a high line on defense, to play compact, and pressing at specific moments during the game. There is a great article. This is where I'm getting all my information on the Back 3 website. Just Google Paulo Fonseca, Everton, and tactics. And there's a whole huge, beefy article about that. So check that out. Because I don't want to give all the details because I didn't write that article. But just so you know, it's encouraging. However, so guys, my biggest concern about this guy, because I like him. I think he's great. I think if Pep Guardiola thinks he's great, I think he's great as well. But the problem is, I'm worried in order to play his style, we need an overhaul.
I can see where you're coming from. I mean, I went to the Manchester City Shakhtar game in the Champions League, and as you say there, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. They're very efficient in the way they pass the ball. A key player who I think is getting a lot of interest from Manchester City, who plays in central midfield for them, is Fred, who's very similar to Fernandinho of Man City. I'm sure the viewers will be familiar with him, and I'm not quite sure who we've got who we can kind of put in that role. Like, so I can see where you're coming from with the kind of overhaul perspective. But you know, going from when I went and seen them at the Etihad, I think they conceded in a Kevin De Bruyne wonder goal about 50 minutes in. Other than that, you know, defensively they were pretty solid against this Manchester City team, and that's something that I think is worth emphasising, considering how bloody great this Manchester City team are. So, and again, the man, I mean, the whole Zorro thing as well shows. I think the man's a bit of a character, and I think that's something that we lack really. You know, a kind of down to earth character who can become a bit of a media darling. Because if you look at all these top clubs, you know, the managers tend to be these media darlings that know how to handle themselves and conduct themselves in the media. And I feel like, you know, appointing him should be a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. Actually, I think we have kind of lacked a character on the touchline for a little while now. Maybe the closest thing we had to Martinez, sorry, but I mean, that got tiresome quick because it was the same act of phenomenal this, phenomenal that. Yeah, positive everything. But yeah, I do really like the look of this guy. In terms of what candidates we have, I think he's our number one, and he's the one that I think everyone would be most happy with. Even though we're not sure whether it was bullshit or not, Gerry, I think there was a chance that he could have come back in November, but I believe Shakhtar did put the brakes on that one, and you can understand why, because we said at the time, who wants to lose a manager at this stage? Yeah. So I think somewhere, you know, we've got a better chance. And I think he'd come as well. You know, the Premier League's so appealing these days. It's absolutely massive, probably considered the best league in the world. You know, despite a year, Everton, you know, outside the top six, we are probably the biggest club. I think it's fair to say that. So there is appeal. You know, we got money there as well to spend, and I'd be made up to have this guy come in. I hope he does.
Yeah, I wanted him earlier on as well. The big argument against him, obviously, is he's been, for the most part, in Portugal and in Ukraine. So,
yeah.
You know, he hasn't been in Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, or Premier League, or any of these, you know, they're bigger leagues is what I think. I use quotation marks, but I think there's probably some evidence, performance-based evidence, to back that up.
Yeah.
I think he brings a style. He brings an identity, which we haven't had, it seems, for a while. Like, who are we? We're bringing in these very scattershot style players, and so we're trying to fit them into some kind of style. And with Sam, you know, I don't know. It's a strange style when you think about his tactics. It's a lot of getting the ball up the field quickly. I mean, our first goal was a long ball from Pickford, and Nias ran his guts off. You did that little, just barely got a little touch to Sigurdsson, who got that shot up, but it was off a long ball. You know, and there's this style of football will be very different. But those are my two concerns. Is he hasn't done it in a big league, you know, but a bigger league, and he may not have the same style as the people we have. Having said that, I want him. I'm just trying to examine the fact that there are negatives. Just saying.
Just something to counter with that really is, you know, you look at other managers in these top leagues that you mentioned, that it's highly unlikely that they will go to a club without that lure of European or Champions League football, and to bring in, make no mistake about it, Ukraine's best team, you know, who compete in the Champions League year after year. So we've got that experience of coming up against these European teams. I think it'd be a big coup for us in that sense, because, you know, bringing a lad in who has got that experience of consistent European football, and hopefully that molds his expectations of coming in. You know, hopefully that hopefully, you know, you say we need an overhaul of the squad. Hopefully, this leads to an overhaul in the mentality. You know, he comes in and he says to the players, you know, listen, I've got this experience of European football, and for a club of this stature, this is really where we should be. So, again, as you say, it's highly unlikely that we'd be able to attract a top manager from a Champions League or European clubs, from a European club, really. So that was just really a counter to a counter. But yeah, I feel like it'd be a really good appointment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think what you're going to hear a lot of is either that or Silva.
Yeah, for me, I think he tops Silva, though. You know, he does have this. You know, when you look at kind of the managers we've had for the last 15 years or so, we haven't had one that's got a winning mentality, that's come in from a big club. That's kind of, I'm not saying Shakhtar are a massive club, but in their own right they are. Certainly in Ukraine, but as Max said, they're in Europe every year and they do well. I think they'll give Roma a good game over 2 legs in the ties coming up. But yeah, and I think, you know, we had Moyes come from Preston, Martinez come from Wigan, we've had Koeman come from Southampton, you know, we've had Allardyce come from a load of shit clubs. Not shit clubs, but you know, club, shall we say.
I was going to say we've had Allardyce coming from the bar. Essentially, the pub.
Yeah, from the abyss. But I mean, that was disrespectful to the clubs Allardyce has managed. But obviously, I think Everton are the biggest that he'd be in that club level. So it'd be great if we had a manager who's coming in with some pedigree, who wants to go out and win things and win games. You know, especially against bigger sides.
So yeah, obviously, just like every candidate, there are drawbacks and concerns. I've seen some people that are being very, very pragmatic in saying that Big Sam is guiding us to top 7, and we may have European football under Big Sam, and we need to be patient. I have heard this argument. Okay, I'm only saying, you see on Twitter there are some people that say it, just saying it's there, not saying I agree.
The league this season, though, I think we just got to look at it. Look at how bizarre and tight this whole relegation scenario is. You know, you've got teams, you know, in the top half that are looking over the shoulder every now and again. So I think this is one of these one-off seasons where you kind of got Manchester City who are the runaway leaders, and other than that, top 6. It's been quite bizarre.
Yeah. So yeah, just letting everybody know. We've heard a lot of these arguments. We know there's going to be people not liking Fonseca, not liking Silva, not liking Allardyce, or liking any of those. So we know the arguments. This is just, you know, I'd say he's the strongest candidate that I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least at this point, for sure. So yeah. So we need to finish up because David has to go to dinner. I think that's what it is.
Throw me under the bus there for everybody to know.
David has plans. All right. Yeah. Me and Max are going to be, as soon as we cut, we're probably, I'm going to cry for a little while. How about you, Max? But David has life, you know. Matt, no, I'm just kidding. Max has 4 dates later. So we should finish up, though. I think that's the end of our Fonseca segment. If you like the videos, please subscribe, give a like, give a comment. That'd be rad. Please check out both of these guys on the Toffee Blues website. Check out the Toffee Blues website. Check it out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And reminder, I'm not the one who runs it. I am the American guy in the videos and on the podcast, and that's it. All right? So don't cast American hate at these fine English lads. All right? Bring it my way, because, I mean, I see it anyway. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I can't think of anything else I need to plug away. Yeah, because that's all. David, enjoy your dinner. Max, enjoy your 4 dates. Is that what it was?
I don't know. I'm spontaneous. Whatever I'll come up with, I'll do.
Yeah, I'll be transferring footage and hanging out with my family.
Nice. Living the dream, mate.
Oh, yeah, because it's raining and we can't play outside, so we're all stuck in the house, but it's really fun. Hopefully the people listening could hear my voice, that it's, not as much. So that's it. Yeah, we're going to go now. Bye.